Hello, my name is Melanie Ooi and I am the creator of the documentary World of Henna, and today I'm going to talk about how I decided on the structure of the film and how I would write it. So creating a documentary is pretty much the opposite of narrative film, where people have a very set storyline, script, storyboarding, and know every scene they want to film. So this documentary in particular was very challenging because I had a rough idea of what I wanted to capture, but the rest of it would just be up to what we were able to find once we got to India. I originally intended to make the film in episodes, so there would be 4 distinct episodes that could be released separately and then stitched together into a full-length documentary. But with the amount of content we got and our ambition levels, we decided that we would just go for the full feature length in the end. So the 4 sections, which I will elaborate on in further videos, were of course bridal henna, secondly the street wallahs, the henna vendors who work in public, and then the farms and factories of where the henna is produced, and then lastly, which was a little bit vague in my mind, but somehow I wanted to be able to achieve this, I wanted to capture the traditional and rustic uses of henna and the way it was applied before we started using the henna cone. So I only had a vague idea of how I would make this happen, and we just had to pretty much hit the ground running and take every opportunity that presented itself to us and see what we could get. Another aspect of telling the story that was very important to me was to convey the sort of dreamy, romantic connection that I feel with henna as a henna artist. And so even though this is a documentary that's presenting a lot of factual information, I also wanted to convey to the audience and hopefully have them feel as well this sort of romance. As we were starting the editing process last year, I was making little poetic notes about some of my thoughts about henna, and then we also researched any kind of henna poetry and found the amazing Indian poet Sarojini Naidu and found a specific poem about henna that she wrote many years ago. And so we used a few lines of her verses in the interludes between each section, where we go into this sort of more dreamy space and give a break, a transition and a bridge into the next very informative section. So all of this said, I think it's important to just remember that film is a creative medium and that you don't always have to follow the rules. And so instead of feeling bound by a certain way to tell a documentary and to present a documentary, that you can be creative and personal about it as well. And so I hope that you feel you got a lot of very solid information about henna, but also got to pick up on that sense of romance and sort of magic that surrounds it as well.